Hey guys, it's Maddie. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Amelia Earhart's crash and the conspiracies that have surfaced through the past 80 years. I think we all know in 1937 she attempted to fly around the world and she crashed into the Central Pacific Ocean near Japan and the surrounding islands around Japan. So she didn't make it, obviously. There are two main conspiracy theories. One is she crashed and her navigator, Fred Noonan, and herself swam to the nearest island, and most historians believe, based on artifacts that have been discovered over the years, that that island was Niku-Maroro, if I'm saying that correctly. So that was controlled by the Japanese at the time. This was pre-World War II, and they think that she survived there for a couple of weeks, and they found artifacts, and the most important one being bones. And they found this in the 40s, late 50s, after World War II, I think. And at first they thought they were a man's bones, but two forensic analysts analyzed the bones, and they declared that the bones were in fact Amelia's, after looking through pictures and seeing like the waist like diameter and how tall she was. Like, she was tall and skinny, and they looked through pictures and the bones matched. Like, they didn't have a full set of bones, but they definitely had a good amount of her body left over. And until recently, they finally declared, after going back and forth to man to woman, that they were Earhart's. And they also found, like, not really important, like a glass jar, and they found women's 1930s shoes, which Amelia probably would have been wearing, and they also found women's makeup. And it was like they made makeup differently back then, so it was like they tested it out in a lab and it was made of the same stuff 1930s makeup was. So they found that, and they found some cloth. Maybe it was from clothes or something, but yeah, they found all those artifacts, and they're pretty sure she landed there and she survived for a couple weeks while food supply was available, and when she ran out, she passed away. But the second one, conspiracy being that after she crashed there, disregard the bones. This is the second conspiracy. They found all this stuff, so she did in fact still swim there in the second conspiracy theory. But since it was controlled and owned by the Japanese at the time, some historians believe that the Japanese would patrol the islands because they were getting ready for the war and stuff, and there were national tension and stuff, and the Japanese captured Noonan and Earhart, and this conspiracy surfaced in the 60s when a photo was found in the National Archives, and I'll put it in the description if I can, but there's a picture, and it's far away like the original picture, but if you zoom in, there's a figure that looks like Amelia Earhart, and it has her short haircut, and then there's a man, and it has a distinct hairline, and if you look at pictures of Fred Noonan, he kind of has a distinct hairline. And in the back, it's on a Japanese harbor, and there's a barge, and there's a 34-foot object on there, and it's being carried into the harbor by the barge. and some historians believe that, in fact, that is Amelia Earhart's airplane. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, I did see a video. It's very interesting. I highly recommend you guys watching it if you're interested. This explorer took a crew to Nico Mororo and found all these artifacts, and I'll post the link in the description for sure if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, my standpoint on this whole thing is like a mixture of the two, because you can't be too sure, because obviously nobody's sure about what happened, because they're obviously both dead by now, so there's no primary sources or anything. But I believe that they did like survive on the island and stuff, and I don't think they were captured by the Japanese. Like, there's a Smithsonian curator, and I read in this article that she doesn't believe that we can all, assume just based on a picture that they were captured by the Japanese, because one, could be photoshopped, even though it looks pretty real to me. Two, it's just a photo and there's not enough evidence, whereas like on the island there's found artifacts. So I just think that's really fascinating. But I'm really fascinated with this topic. My dad works at GE and he makes plane engines, and my stepdad works with NetJets. So I'm then my stepmom works at American Airlines. So a lot of my family's into aviation and stuff. And most of the time, well, I've gone a couple of times. We go to the Dayton Air Force Museum. I don't know if anyone's been there, but it's a really cool place. You guys should check it out. There's a lot of history there, and it's really cool. They have everything, from the start of aviation to present. And it's not just Air Force stuff. They have an Amelia Earhart exhibit there. So, yeah, it's a very interesting topic to me. Thanks, guys, for listening, and I hope you have a nice day. Thanks for watching.